Hi there, I'm Bethany Geddes. I am with Simply for Life and I am a certified holistic nutritional consultant. So just a little bit of background about myself. This is my kitchen right now, and this is where I usually do all my cooking and everything with my kids. So I am a mom. I'm a mom of 2 boys, and I also used to be a nurse and used to work in the diet and health industry. So I'm very well versed with people losing weight and looking after their health and deal with women and families now. So basically what we're going to talk about today is the Fit and Fiber challenge that you guys will be doing. And like I said, this video is going to be geared towards more family, especially with kids, because as a mom myself, I understand what it's like trying to get kids to eat those vegetables, those fibers, the things that we actually need them to get them to eat. And it's usually one of the hardest things, unfortunately, that I see with a lot of parents struggling to get their kids to eat. So in this first video here, there's going to be 3 videos. This first video, we're going to talk about the benefits of fiber for kids. We're going to talk about what happens if kids don't get enough fiber in their diet. And we're also going to talk about soluble fiber versus insoluble fiber, because we need to understand the difference between the two as well. So what are actually the benefits of fiber for kids? Now, the big one that we do usually see is improved digestive health. So this is actually going to help promote regular bowel movements for children. It's going to prevent constipation, the struggle on the toilet with the little ones. Another thing for fiber that's really good for children is keeping their energy sustained. So I don't mean like the kids have, no energy, because a lot of kids are like, little Duracell bunnies running around. But sometimes our kids aren't feeling very well and they're lethargic and we're wondering why. Maybe their moods are off. So this is where we can actually help regulate their blood sugars. So we're actually providing sustained energy throughout the day. We're not providing like big buildups with sugar and then crashing and things like that, which typically happens when kids are eating too much refined carbohydrates. They have too much sugar in their diet, for example. And another benefit for kids also is kind of more longevity. This is heart health. So fiber-rich diets are actually associated with reduced cardiovascular disease for children as well. So now what we're going to talk about is what happens if kids don't get enough fiber in their diet. So this is where I usually see children where they're having digestive issues. Not getting enough fiber, it causes bloating, constipation. Sometimes we're going to get skin reactions, maybe because they're not digesting their food properly and it's staying stagnant in the bowel. Also another one is later in life too, this is going to cause more of an increased risk of chronic disease. So now as adults, we see chronic disease all the time. We can actually start this at an early age to help children prevent this. So this is where adding in fiber is really going to help. So what we see is low fiber intake is actually linked to obesity in children, type 2 diabetes, and heart disease later in life. So that's really unfortunate. The other thing we do see with children is not eating enough fiber in their diet is actually leading to fluctuations in poor energy levels. Like I said, we don't want to have sort of that like crazy kid that's running around with all the sugar in their system and then they're crashing, right? So we want sustained energy levels throughout the day, and this is big for kids, especially because they're learning so much, they're growing so much, and they need that sustained energy throughout the day to keep their mood happy as well, which as parents, we want to make sure our kids are in a good mood, because otherwise it kind of disrupts the whole system at home, unfortunately. So now I'm going to kind of give you some examples here in my kitchen of what I found. So what is insoluble versus soluble fiber? So the root is soluble fiber is found in foods like oats, beans, fruits, flaxseed, chia seeds, and soluble fiber is actually something that dissolves in water and it forms a gel-like substance, and it actually helps go through the digestive tract. It lowers bad cholesterol and it also regulates blood sugar levels. So an example of this would be chia seeds. So chia seeds, pretty good. They're usually like gray little tiny seeds. If you can kind of have a look at that. So it looks like gray little seeds right there, as you can see. These are really easy just to put on top of your kids' cereal. They kind of form a gel-like substance. You can also make them into chia seed pudding, which you can basically put a bunch in a bowl at nighttime and then put some oat milk or almond milk over top, and then it basically makes a nice pudding. Put a little vanilla in there, maple syrup, and it's really good and kids love it. Even sometimes a little bit of cocoa powder just to sweeten it up as well. Another thing I usually recommend for children, especially for cereal likers, is oatmeal. So oatmeal is something that is really helpful for children. My boys eat it on a regular basis, so that's something that will help sort of move the bowels along. Whether it's cooked oatmeal or it's raw and you put it with milk or honey, or you give them a little bit of raisins, they can add a lot of different things to that. Now, flaxseed, you can buy flaxseed itself in powder form is usually a good idea, or I actually prefer oil. So you can add a little teaspoon or so of flax oil, just not too much with children because you don't want it to cause the opposite effect, which can cause loose bowels. So flaxseed is really good. Do not cook with flaxseed oil, though. This is a cold pressed oil. So this is something that you would have to keep in the fridge, and you want to put like maybe a teaspoon in their shake if they're having a smoothie, or maybe just put it in their cereal with their milk in the morning. They're not really going to notice a difference. Another one of soluble fiber is also psyllium husk. So it looks like that wheat bran that you get. It's usually something that you would find in like Metamucil. It's kind of that main ingredient. So that's what soluble fiber is. So it's different from insoluble. So insoluble fiber, it's foods like whole grains, vegetables, and nuts. The insoluble fiber does not dissolve in water, but it actually adds bulk to the stool. So it promotes the regular bowel movements, and it also prevents constipation. So this is kind of like your garbage truck taking everything out. So these are their bigger things. So I'm going to show you. So we've got nuts and seeds. Typically, this is something that's quite bulky, has a lot of fiber in it, really healthy for you. Obviously, we have our fruits and vegetables, so carrots, peppers, apples, lots of different fruits and veggies, and just some other fruits I have in the fridge right now. So we've got some grapes and some melons. So that would be something that's really easy and accessible for children. Obviously, cutting things up, making sure that, you know, if you're giving them grapes, you're cutting them up, if they're little, into quarters because you don't want them to choke. So there's lots of different fruits and veggies and things like that that you can add. So like I said, I hope this is something that has helped you kind of understand, really broken it down just into something small, and understand why fiber is so important to your kids' health basically, and not just your kids' health, but your own health as well. So in the next video, we will be talking about soluble fibers and how we can kind of get these into your diet for your kids very slowly, because I know this is a big thing for a lot of people. Thanks so much, and see you in the next video.